Hey Wellbeing Committee, here's a tutorial for the bracelets. Here's the final product. Watch along. Just to make note before you start, after I finish I realised the bead is actually quite small, so maybe use 2 beads at the end, which will make sense as you finish the tutorial, and make the loop as small as possible. Also make the length of the string 110 centimeters rather than what I suggested at the start as 120 or 25. Okay, so 110 centimeters is good. Okay, cool. Enjoy. Thank you so much again.
So, you should have 3 or 4 coloured threads if you're doing the Kids Helpline one. And first off, I would just suggest, you know how they come with 2 of these little plastic things on it? Take one off but keep one on, just so it keeps the thread nice and neat, but you can just tug it, the loose end here, to get your string out, but it keeps it neater rather than it being all tangled, and then you might lose the thread because it's too knotty and stuff. Okay, so you've got your beads. They can be black or white or clear, and then your coloured thread. So first off, you're gonna cut one thread, so it's approximately like 120 centimeters kind of thing. You can fast forward this. I don't have enough time to edit it properly for you, so I'm just gonna let you fast forward through all the bits that you know already, okay? So you'll line this up. I'm sorry. Perfect. Okay, so now you have your 3 thread, 3 coloured thread. Line up one end so they're in line. And you're going to do the knot up the top. Here you go. Tie it round. There you go. This one's called a loop knot. Seems pretty obvious, but there you go. Now, our beads are quite small. So you see how small they are here? They're tiny. So you can make this loop quite small, as long as it's fairly easy to manipulate with like your size fingers kind of thing. Okay, so it should look like this. You got your loop knot. Then you're going to pull these leftovers to the side there and do another loop knot. You can make it bigger if you want, because I think you'll be able to adjust it. Oh yeah, you will, yeah. Okay. Pull that through. Now this is a bit of a tricky part, because you are going to need to make sure the loop, the second loop you're just making, is as close to the first loop that you made. So you'll pull it, you'll learn how to do this properly yourself as you make them, but you'll pull one side and get your thumb and forefinger, if that's what it's called, to move it as close to the first knot as possible. And then you kind of just tighten that. Then you should have 2 loops there. Kind of looks like a bow. Great, so that's the start off. That's the bit that sometimes I would do for you. But now you should know what to do next. Uh-oh, that's not getting bigger. Okay, it should be fine. Uh-oh, I stuffed something up. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake, so I had to go back. Okay, so we've got your loop knot here. Then you're going to put your loop down this to the in front of you there. Wrap, 2 fingers, wrap this around like that, and you're going to fold this over like that and tuck it under that other thread you had going around your fingers. Then you're going to carefully take your fingers out and slide. Oh, that didn't work. And grab this end here and pull it tight slowly. Now you want this loop that you're doing here to be as close to this first loop that you did. So see the knot there? and the second knot we're making here. You want to make that as close to the first knot as possible. Do that by moving it across with your fingers, and you pull it tight like this. Okay, now you should, if you've made it right, be able to pull on the downside, I don't know what to call it there, loop, and then pull this one tight with your long thread to make the loop smaller. Now you might have to go back and do that again, but that's all good. Just pause and go back, slow it down, whatever you'd like. And then we're going to keep going. You guys should remember this. This is the bit where I do it for you, but then this next bit you all know how to do. Thumb and pointer finger go into the loop. You pull this one and it comes through like that. Okay, I'll do it again closer for you. Now you should already see, ignore that little white bit, your braid kind of happening. Now remember, you pull this bit to make the loop smaller, but you don't want to pull it all the way through. That can happen, that's fine. I'll show you in a second how to fix that if it does happen. So pointer and thumb through, pull tight. Now you can do it quite loose. You can not properly tighten it if you want. That makes a different style of bracelet. You can go ahead and do that. If you want your bracelet to be kind of loose, you can do that. Go for it. But make sure you do it for the whole bracelet, okay? You can experiment. You've got a bunch to make over the holidays, so you figure out what you like to do. Okay, you keep doing this all the way. Now, let me show you, what if you accidentally pull this all the way through? Whoops. You'll see there's this tiny little loop here. And that's the last loop that you made before. We're just going to expand that out, and there we go, we've got another loop we can keep going with. So it's actually not a big deal at all if you pull it all the way through accidentally. I hope that made sense. Okay, we're going to keep going. Keep going. Hopefully you have the right colours for all the bracelets. Oh, not all of them, but the one that Miss Lanty did give you in the Ziploc bag. If you aren't quite sure, or the colours are not similar to the last ones, text me or Miss Landy or both of us, or text the group chat we've got on Teams or WhatsApp, and I can confirm it for you and reassure you, or if there's been a mistake we can try and fix it. Okay, now something else to make you aware of is, see how the loop comes out quite cleanly out of the previous loop, the plait. So it's going just straight out there. We don't want it to ever flip over like that, or the other way like that. It's not quite as clean. So you just make sure that one side's coming out that way and the other side's going out that way, because otherwise you're going to get a loop, a braid thing that's got like a bit of a bubble in it. I'll show you actually. So I flipped it over the wrong way accidentally. Now see how that, I'll do it again to see, just show you properly. Okay, so wrong way. There you go. So see how it's stuffing up, the braid pattern? It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not going to keep going, but I just want to make sure you know that. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to fix that. There we go. So just make sure it always comes out the right way. Oh, did that work? Not sure. Yeah, okay, cool. Where we go? Okay, you keep going until you feel that it has become long enough. You can make a bunch of different sizes. So this isn't long enough yet, but I would just keep going around your to test out on your wrist. You're going to have your small loop on one side, this loop there that we're going to put in the bead, and then you have the braid that we want going over most of it, and then we'll have another little tie with the bead on this end of the bracelet that will like act as like the tie, like the bead will like slip into the loop, not down there. Okay, keep going. You'll get very fast at this, I hope. Probably faster than me. Well, definitely faster than me. Now you will have to be more careful as you get to the end because you don't want to pull that all the way through. You can figure out how to fix it though, if that happens. Okay, we're getting there. I think this is kind of close. I may have told you to cut too much thread because that's a lot left over, isn't it? Let's have a look. Okay, I'm going to go a few more times and then I'll stop. But make a variety of different sizes if you can. So do a bunch for your wrist because your wrist is probably an average size wrist unless it's small and you joke about that or whatever. Yeah, make different sizes if you can. But for simplicity, just do your wrist a few times first. Okay, this is good. This is a good length. So you got your loop knot on one end, which isn't looking amazing, but that's okay, we can trim these bits later. Now you know all how to tie this up. Do like you would before, pull this through, but pull it all the way up and tighten. So that is what you all should know how to do already. Now, if you have some material scissors handy, they look like this usually. That's awesome. You can cut them nice and short so they're not in the way. That's awesome. Cut it with them, or just any normal scissors is fine. You might have little bits like this coming out. You can just cut that. It's not a big deal. Okay, so now we're going to get these beads open. And let's see what we can do. Open here carefully. Yeah, we're exploring this together because I have not done this yet. Oh, wait, I see. Sorry, you can fast forward this bit. Yeah, okay. Beautiful. Uh-oh. Oh, great. Okay, well, pro tip, don't do that. Don't lose them. Whoa, amazing tip. Okay, let's cut this a bit, just because it is too long. Don't cut too much yet, because you want to make sure you got enough. I'm sure you will, but... Okay, lick this end so it makes them kind of conjoin a bit more so you can slip this bead on, because that's actually a very small hole there, so we're going to need it to fit through. And this may be a struggle, but we can go there. Okay, then you try and slip it in. All three at the same time if you can. Whoa. Grab a bunch and pull. Yay! Okay, that may take you a few tries, but keep persisting and keep licking the end. It sounds gross, but I promise it will help. And twist them together like that or anything like that you can to get the bead on. Okay, that looks quite pretty. Okay, so now, actually we might do 2 beads. We'll see. You can put 2 or 1. Maybe just do 1 for now, but if you find 1 isn't big enough, which it may be, but we'll see. Okay, now easy knot, just 1 knot at the end here. Just like a really simple, I don't know what you call this knot, baby knot, normal knot. But you need the knot to be big enough so the bead doesn't slip off. So if it can't just with 1, that's great. I'm just going to do 2 because I would hate for it to break on a kid and then they lose their bracelet because it unties without them noticing. So let's do 2 knots if you can, because then the bead is certain not to fall off. See how chunky that is. Okay, beautiful. You can cut this now if you're sure that it will work. I want to be double sure. Okay, so this is the bracelet actually. And then you feed this through that side. And then that's the bracelet. So that loophole should hold on to the bead there so it can't go over. Problem with a large loop knot like this is it could just slip off and then the bracelet might fall off the wrist. So make this smaller if you can. So we can cut this. Oops. Beautiful. So this is what the final bracelet should look like. I'm sure you'll get neater and neater as you go and try out different styles of the plaiting, like I was saying before. So let's have a look. Okay, so it's hard to get on with one person, but there you go. Yes, so I would advise maybe put 2 beads on it and make a smaller loop knot because we don't want that to be able to come out easily.